the first thing I'm going to do is learn. And then the second thing I'm going to do is try to understand. I'm going to ask a ton of weird questions that don't seem like they relate to much. So we'll create a content plan. We'll create viral marketing ideas. We'll create, within whatever budget you allot for this, the resources needed and the time schedule of which those will be delivered. And then we'll create a clear plan and research that plan with a ahead of launch report delivered to the group, and then one more meeting just before launch. So we'll have this kind of planning meeting, launch meeting, and then we'll have a follow-up meeting as we plan to launch those other good ideas. In the worst case scenario you're looking at a year's content plan of something that's easy to produce content over and over and over again. You're going to become an authority in your subject. You're going to get better search results. You're going to get better social media numbers ultimately. You're going to be creating better content. You'll have a plethora of stuff on the website that people can interact with in the future. So it'll make your workload eased up a little bit, in years to come, because hey, there's a video about that online or whatever, right? So all of these things, then you create a reputation. You're going to create some buzz, and you're also going to create some excitement amongst the counties of which are funding some of your efforts by creating something that they see. So we're going to do all those things within the first couple hours, and then some follow-up meetings, and I'd be happy to do it. So I look forward to it. The first thing this is going to take is passion. To deliver the right resource and content is going to take an army, right? And so we're going to need to create some ideas. We're going to need to create a foundation of ideas, and then a guy like me can filter those, right? I can leverage my expertise and my experience, expertise, whatever. I've got 12 years in this market, and we've test marketed a ton of stuff. I entrance myself in your world, read, research, do the data, and then find out what it is that you want, and then find a solution based around that. And I know where to research. And so instead of spinning your wheels and throwing your ideas out and thinking they're great, you can bounce them off me. I can set you in the right direction. But the first thing I'm going to do is get up on a whiteboard, understand you, right? I'm going to understand what you're trying to do, who you're trying to reach, and then we're together going to come up with some ideas on how we can brainstorm, maybe break up into little groups. The idea here is just to create content. And so to produce an audience, you have to have your local readership trust that you're going to deliver a resource to them, right? Okay, so diving into those ideas is really, really important. So what we're going to want to do is create like 3 to 5 of those really killer ideas. And in order to do that, I usually do what I like to call, just like spewing out these keywords onto a giant bubble. I call it an ecosystem, for lack of a better word. And so I start with a circle in the middle of my idea, right? The main idea, which is, in this case, getting companies to understand who you are, right? Understanding, right? And so I'd have understanding ecosystem for companies within our reach, okay? And in order to do that, here's all the ideas we got. Boom, 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 boom. We'll rapid fire some keywords. The idea is to, get them to understand we're a nonprofit, get them to do this, nonprofit. So we put all these words out there, these hot keywords, right? And in that effort, right, what we're doing is creating this giant kind of thought bubble looking diagram, which then gives us a resource to look upon and go, hey, what out of these words creates any ideas for you guys, right? As far as a resource we can make, a game we could create, an app idea, right? An app title. We need something fired at us that generates a spark within us, right? And that idea that generates a spark within us, I'm including myself and you guys, because this is where your passion comes in, right? If you're not passionate about the ideas I create, then how is it going to go viral? You don't have any oomph behind it. How are you going to create content on a daily basis? So the idea is to create 3 to 5 good ideas, those great focused ideas. So you have a game in mind. All right, what do those games do? Let's create 5 of those ideas, and those are our 5 ideas we're going to attempt to go viral. And then we're going to create a marketing plan that incorporates a content editorial schedule, right? And so how often is content being created? Who's creating it? What is it that's being created? And now we have a map laid out for your people to write content